Welcome to MILF,
I'm Courtney,
and I'm Jennifer.
and we are two moms into literary freedom.
No. So welcome back to Moms into Literary Freedom, where I just had to click record to get this show started. And it wanted AI to be my companion. I don't want it to be my companion. I
It's
want
so
nothing to do with
annoying.
it.
Even when you search on Google or wherever, the first thing you get is an
Okay.
AI response. And I know you did a
You
video.
know what I'm gonna say.
You're gonna have to walk me through it afterwards because I think I tried to do it and I'm like, I'm not seeing it on my end.
So it's called DuckDuckGo. And just like Chrome is a browser, just like
Oh, it's its
Firefox and
own browser.
Safari, yep, you have to download DuckDuckGo. It's just an app, it's a browser, it's everything. DuckDuckGo is great. And even if you still want to use AI, you can still use AI on DuckDuckGo. I sound like I'm doing an ad for them, but I swear they're not paying us. No one pays us anything.
But if you'd like to sponsor us,
Yeah, if you want to be a sponsor, let us know. But seriously, I do swear by DuckDuckGo. It's replaced all my browsers and they make it in I did make a video about how easy it was. So if you're listening to this, check out Moms into Literary Freedom on our Instagram. We are at MILF for books, the number four, not the word four. Yep. On Instagram, and I have a video there that shows how easy it is that to opt out of AI if you're using DuckDuckGo because other search engines make it so confusing. You're just like, fuck it, whatever.
yes.
And the Google, did you see there was a recent lawsuit about Google AI overview being wrong?
Well, I've known that it's not always right
Yeah.
because it just uses information that's already on the web. It's not verifying
Mhm.
if it's accurate information.
It's like Wikipedia, but
So,
like so much worse. Like
yeah.
Wikipedia, I love Wikipedia. Because Wikipedia is written by humans. It would be like if Wikipedia was written by robots that don't know anything, like don't know real
Yeah.
from fake, which is the basis of this entire episode. So I have a special drink here.
Oh, I don't have a drink, but if you're watching and you see me doing my makeup, we're busy moms, okay? And I have
Hmm.
places to go after this and I
That's
need a
right.
face.
I completely forgot. I was supposed to say I was thrown off by the AI companion.
No, no, you're good. I'm just, I don't know how many people watch, but if you are watching or when you post a clip, if I'm on there
Yeah.
with
Yeah.
makeup sometimes and not makeup the other times, that's why.
Well, by the end of this, you'll be all in your makeup. So
Hopefully.
the transformation process. Um, yeah, so we're going to talk about iRobot. I have the book here, and it's a very tattered and worn, used copy by Isaac Asimov. Asimov.
That's how I would have said it.
Really? Because I've been saying Asimov, and my husband's like, no.
No.
Like, listen, I don't know. Asimov. So Isaac Asimov wrote they're like a series of short stories basically about robots. Um,
When did that
and
come out?
yeah, it's kind of older, right?
I
And
didn't
this was
realize it was old.
yeah, yeah. So let's see. He was also kind of a dick. We're going to talk about Isaac Asimov because while he's on a banned author, this is on a banned book. It, you know, relates to AI. And so I just thought it was, and also Will Smith made a movie. So, I mean, come on. I watched the movie.
That's
It was
the
pretty good.
extent of my knowledge on this topic.
Yeah, you're like, yeah, the Will
I've
Smith
watched
movie.
them
Yeah.
ages
Uh,
ago.
so yeah, I think it was like written in 1948 and like published in 1950 or something like that.
Oh,
Um,
I didn't realize it was that old.
yeah. Yeah, so 1950. So which is cool because it's like, you know, the beginning of like supercomputers and computers and all that stuff and science fiction writers are like, okay, but what if, hear me out, what if these computers start, developing minds of their own? Um, which is very relevant to today in today's
Yes.
society. So that's what we're going to talk about today. Because there's a lot, all right, of, and we're going to talk more about AI than we are going to talk about the book. Um, and like, all the shit that's going on. So if you're here, you're seeing random stories here and like lawsuits here and there, or stories about how AI like impacted people's lives. This is the episode for you. So, I did watch the movie with Will Smith. I'm gonna talk a little bit about the movie because I mean it was pretty good. His name is in the movie is Detective Spooner. And at the beginning of the movie, he sarcastically pitches a commercial to the richest man in the world, who would be like Elon Musk, I guess, in this scenario, or maybe Bezos. I don't know.
Yeah.
Um, I don't know who the richest man in the world is right now. I
Yeah.
do know that that Musk
One of those
was
douchebags.
he was a trillionaire for a hot second.
Is he
Did
not a
you?
trillionaire anymore?
I don't think so. Um,
Oh, so sad.
I know, right? The only thing I've seen recently in my feed, which isn't always true, is that Musk uh about Doge, like stuff is coming out about Doge is officially done. Like, duh, we knew that. Like, I guess it's official now. I don't know. And they officially lost money. Like, they didn't save any money. They cost
That I
us
did
money.
hear.
Yeah. Like, we
Yes.
knew that. We knew that was gonna happen.
Like shocker. Duh.
Mhm. But yeah, something about him not being a trillionaire and then not being a trillionaire. I don't know. I don't really fucking care. All right.
You know what I
So,
wonder? Not to interrupt you, I'm
no, it's
sorry.
okay.
Why isn't he being held accountable for that?
I mean,
He
probably,
wasn't an official
yeah.
member of our government.
The same reason that Netanyahu isn't being held accountable for his war
Yeah,
crimes. You know,
there you
rich
go.
people protect rich people. Um, Mamdani, though, Netanyahu steps a foot in New York, he's done for.
I
So
love him. I love him. He's my
he's the
mayor
best. Yeah, he's the
from
best.
Florida.
He's great. All right, so Will Smith is like pitching this commercial to this douchebag CEO of this company called US Robotics. And he says, look, this isn't what I do, but I have an idea for one of your commercials. You could see a carpenter making a beautiful chair, and then one of your robots comes in and makes a better chair twice as fast. And then you superimpose on the screen USR, shitting on the little guy. That would be the fade out. So I chose to kind of talk about this quote because AI is taking so many jobs, even though they're saying, oh, don't worry about your job being taken, we've already seen it happen.
Right.
So it's like, yeah, my personally, your job and my job are not going to be taken by AI, but that doesn't mean there aren't other jobs that have already been taken.
Right.
So I'm going to talk about that real quick. Amazon, and this was old news. This is not new news. Amazon laid off 16,000 employees. This was the company's second round of large scale job reductions in 3 months as it fights to improve its standing in the battle for AI supremacy. In a blog post recently, the company said it needed to reduce red tape to increase its decision making speed. And so this was in late October. They announced it was cutting 14,000 corporate employees following a directive from CEO Andy Jassy's vision of operating like the world's biggest startup. He wants the company to, startup is not the word I would use for that. He wants
Right.
the company to remain nimble so it can adapt and change quickly as AI upends the technology sector. Jassy said Amazon wasn't unique in that respect. He envisioned billions of AI agents being put into service across every company and field. Many of these agents have yet to be built, but make no mistake, they're coming and they're coming fast. So all this bullshit about AI is not coming to take your job is like, well, yeah, okay, they're not going to take everyone's job, but we've already seen it happening.
Yeah.
Um,
Or they want to cut out people they have to pay.
mhm. Yeah,
And just
exactly. Yeah. And even at my job too, it's like they're encouraging us to use AI so that we can do the job of three people. And it's like, well, AI is going to take a lot of that workload off for you. Well, not necessarily.
they
It's
want
still
you to
going,
train AI so it could
yeah.
take you up.
Well, not even that. It's like, well, okay, so you want me to do all of these tasks. They're like, yeah, but you have AI to help you. And I'm like, well, AI isn't as great as you think it is. So
Right.
it's like, sure, I can check off task number one using AI, but it's not going to be what you want. So I'm just going to have to go back and refix that and fix that and
And that takes sometimes more time than
yeah,
if you just did it right the first time. Not
exactly.
right, you know what I mean?
Yeah, better. I actually used the phrase un-AI in last week when I was working. I was like, hey, hold on, guys, I have to un-AI this because it didn't work. So
Right.
yeah. There was in addition to like layoffs, there's been lots of lawsuits. So recently, a company named Suno, which is currently embroiled in multiple ongoing copyright lawsuits. So Suno is like the AI company, I guess, has already admitted in response to legal action that it used essentially all music files of reasonable quality that are accessible on the open internet to train its music generating AI, which why the fuck do we? That's another job that's being taken. People who write jingles or, I know that like we're always going to have musical artists and, music is an art form, blah, blah, blah. But like, what about a jingle for a commercial? You're not going to hire someone to write that jingle. Now you're just going to use AI to
Right.
write it. But the problem is AI is being trained by,
Using
yeah,
it's
using other
stealing.
people. Yeah, they're stealing other people's music to train
I
these
see
AI
that.
so that they can fucking put them out of a job, you know?
I see that a lot in books.
Yeah.
A lot of authors are complaining, and now they have it in their copyright info, you cannot use this for AI education purposes.
Yes.
But they're going to do it anyways. I mean,
Yeah. Let me look up something real quick because that reminds me. So it was a lawsuit AI book. I'm just gonna duck go this real quick. Google judge approves a $1.5 billion Anthropic settlement. So Anthropic is a big heavy hitter in the AI world, right? Um,
you're gonna have to
over
tell me what that means.
okay, over pirated books used to train the Claude chatbot. So, there's Claude and then there's Chat GPT. Like those are the two main ones.
I've never heard of Claude, but
Oh,
I stay away
okay.
from, you know.
Yeah. So Claude is owned by Anthropic. And
Oh,
so,
okay.
yeah. So a federal judge has approved a $1.5 billion copyright settlement in which artificial intelligence company Anthropic will pay thousands of authors about $3,000 per book after using pirated copies of their work to train its Claude chatbot. That is just awesome that they won the lawsuit. Terrible that that even has to happen. So,
And the thing is, though, they're going to pay that amount, but they're going to make so much more that they
yeah.
don't care. It's not going to stop them from
Yeah.
doing it. And
Exactly.
that's the issue.
Yeah.
It's a slap on the wrist.
So yeah, I guess before we get too far into this episode, Isaac Asimov, Asimov, whatever, is not a banned author. This is not a banned book, but he was kind of a dick apparently. Um,
I was going to
but
say something, but I'm gonna be nice.
no, go ahead. You should say it. Don't be nice.
Yeah, as most men are.
Yeah. I mean, especially men in show business and or like, powerful men, even if I don't know, I just feel like those creative men too. Like they're like, oh, look at me, I'm so
They
smart.
can
Look,
be very dramatic sometimes, like drama
yeah. But like really just like conceited and proud of themselves. Like, I don't know.
narcissistic.
Narcissistic, yeah. So Asimov has had a reputation as a harasser, and the scientific or the science fiction community knew all about it. This is an article from 2020 from baseandsuperstructure.com. I'm not sure. This is like a blog post. But it's basically just sort of saying that Asimov exemplified uh like a type of harasser. He was the awkward, nerdy boy who through his intellectual efforts and outputs gained social power with which to lord over women who wouldn't otherwise attend to him. That's what I was just trying to say.
Mm.
Whoever wrote this blog post who didn't put their name on it did a really good job at saying what I was just trying to say. I hate it when people don't put their names on things. I'm like, I'm trying to quote you on online right now, but
Anonymous.
yeah, an anonymous blogger. So yeah, like Joss Whedon, he's an example of that. Do you know who Joss Whedon is?
No, I'm not good with names.
He was the guy who produced Buffy the Vampire Slayer.
Okay. Yeah, I would
Mhm.
have known his name.
Yeah. So he was canceled basically for being just like a nerdy exploitative exploitive. I don't know how to say
Said it
that
right.
word.
Yeah.
There's like two T's, but sometimes people only pronounce one. Anyway, he was just like an asshole, but he was also sort of like the science fiction nerd. Not all science fiction nerds are assholes. We know that.
Right.
But sometimes they don't really know how to communicate with women. And then they have these inflated egos because they created something really cool, like Buffy the
Right.
Vampire Slayer. Like, okay, well, you still can't treat women that way. So, like, Joss Whedon was really wrong to Charisma Carpenter, who played Cordelia in the
This is starting
series.
to ring bells now.
Yeah. So Cordelia was sort of the bitchy cheerleader, and
The hot
she
girl.
yeah, the hot girl, and she had really good character development, and then she joined Angel, the spinoff series with David Boreanaz,
Yes.
and she got pregnant, and Joss Whedon didn't like that and basically killed her character. But it was like the worst storyline ever. It literally ruined the show. Like she got pregnant in the show and in real life, and they like made her character just so terrible. It was like the worst storyline. And then she basically got B-listed and like couldn't work again. So
And
he's
he
just
ruined the show, which is usually what ends up happening. On
yeah,
top
he
of
ruined the show.
ego and
Yeah.
your
Hmm.
ruins everything. We see
He
that a
ruined
lot with
not only did he ruin Angel with that like weird ass storyline, but he also ruined Buffy because Buffy was supposed to come back for like its last season, and he was like, I don't know, he was just like letting his ego get in the way, and the money makers were like, fine, we don't give a shit. Like Buffy isn't really as important to us as it
right.
is to you. So like if you're gonna try and like be controlling over us, then we're just gonna cancel the show. So anyway, I'm not gonna get too much more into that, but I just thought I should, point out that he wasn't like this awesome
Right.
guy. But
No, that's
yeah,
good to know because sometimes we support people without realizing they're
yeah,
shitty people.
yeah. And but does that mean like you shouldn't go out and read I, Robot? I mean, no, it's still like if you like science fiction, like I mean, I guess that's your choice. Like I'm
Right.
sure there's plenty other robot stories out there you could probably read.
I'll be honest, it's not a story that I'm
You,
jumping at the bit to go
yeah,
read. And especially hearing it's from the 40s. I'm not,
yeah.
I'm like, it's not my thing,
It's definitely not
but it
like
might be somebody's thing, and I don't yuck someone's yum, right? That's
exactly
what it is.
right. Well, like so I'm reading the Odyssey right now too because of the movie.
I want to go watch it. I've never
Yeah.
read the book either. How is it going?
Well, there are lots of translations. Obviously, it was written in Greek, but so I'm reading the 1900 translation right now because that was the translation that was on sale at Barnes and Noble. There is like a 1990s translation that would probably be much more enjoyable to read, but I didn't know that at the time. I was like, oh, the illustrated Odyssey. And I bought it, and it was the 1900 translation. So it's a little dry, but I'm like, still, whatever. I'm still following it. I'm still into it. But yeah, it's not like a page turner. You know what I mean?
There's a lot of drama around this because
Mm-hmm.
of the characters and
Mm-hmm.
who they chose as the actors.
Mm-hmm.
It's so
There,
funny.
yeah,
Every,
there's drama
every time.
in two different worlds. So like some racist people are unhappy that there are black characters, which whatever, that shit's like I can't believe that shit's still going on. Like who the fuck cares?
And it's like a mythical person to begin
Yeah.
with. Right?
Like yeah, this is a mythical story. Like this didn't actually some people actually think that like
He was
these
like
things
born
happen.
from an egg.
I don't
So like
know.
that doesn't mean you're white.
Like these are all just like yeah, like this was their religion, and it's like the gods interacted with the mortals and blah blah blah. So it's like who are you to say that they can't look a certain way? But anyway, and then the other side of the conflict with the Odyssey is the how the female characters were
I,
portrayed.
oh, really?
Hmm. But I don't know because I haven't watched it, so I have no idea.
Yeah.
So
I was wanting to go watch it
mhm.
maybe this weekend. I don't know when I was gonna fit it in, um but I do want to watch it just based off the drama.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I'm definitely watching it, even though it's 3 hours long. I'm excited though. But
And it's got some characters that I really like. I'm sorry, I know I'm going off topic.
no, it's okay. Um, yeah, I think we'll definitely watch it and then we'll talk about it in a new episode.
Don't
But
make
yeah,
me read the Odyssey.
no, 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 no. I'm not even.
Banned? Is that one a banned book?
I don't
I
think
feel
so.
like
Like I get probably not. Like you could probably find a case where like someone tried to do something, but yeah, I don't think so. I'm sure we could find a reason to talk about it though. Just like we're finding a reason to talk about iRobot, which
right.
I got to be honest, I didn't even finish the book because it was dry. It's kind of a dry book. But I got halfway through, and I, learned enough to figure out like, oh, this is just a bunch of short stories of like people who work for US robotics and like their experiences with robots. And sometimes the robots will, like go astray, or they'll they won't act the way they're supposed to. And then the story is like these two men who work for US Robotics, I forgot their names, but they have to like go and fix it or something. But the movie is way better. Just watch the movie if you're
Is it
interested.
anything like the movie, or is it completely like loosely based on?
It's loosely based. Well, not really, because they have USR, which is US Robotics, and then they have Dr. Calvin, who's a woman. And there's like a whole other can of worms you could open about Isaac Asimov's portrayal of Dr. Calvin as a woman, who works in this US Robotics, because there's a story in the book about her like being in love with someone, and like you could argue like he's like, I don't know, wrong about the portrayal of her emotions. But anyway, the movie is similar to the book, but there is no Will Smith in the book. Like there's no detect.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think so. I mean, yeah.
Wait, did he
But
smack Will Smith after that smack? Do
wait,
you
what
remember
happened?
that? Who did he smack?
Oh yeah, he smacked someone.
A
Will
host.
listen, we can find a reason to not like most celebrities.
But it was in reference to protecting his wife, so
Yeah. Yeah,
but I
but
mean a little overboard. I don't remember. I'm not gonna
some
talk
people probably argue that yeah, he was a little too possessive. I don't fucking know. But I mean, if you're gonna be a celebrity with millions of dollars, that's gonna change your brain chemistry and you're gonna just become a weirdo. That's just how it happens. You're
I
just
think
a
so.
yeah.
Yeah.
I still like Will Smith though. And he's good in this movie. But the
That mo-
main
yeah.
character of this book slash movie is Alfred Lanning, and he's dead at the beginning because he was suspected to commit suicide by jumping through a window like 20 stories high. So people are like, oh, he committed suicide. Will Smith, though, he's like, how does someone commit suicide by jumping through safety glass? Like you can't jump through safety glass.
Mhm.
Yeah, you know? So he's like, no, 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 this is not suicide.
Something
Um,
else is going on.
yeah. And before his death, Dr. Lanning, he was like this robot doctor, and he appeared to be a recluse who just lived in his robot lab, right? There was a bed in his lab. He just like lived there, and he only interacted with, his robots. So that reminded me of how people today form relationships with these chatbots, which is the most concerning part to me. One of them, I mean, the water use is very concerning, but let's talk about a really sad story for a second. So, the parents of 16-year-old Adam Rain have sued OpenAI, which is ChatGPT, and their CEO, Sam Altman. I'm sure you've heard that name before, alleging that ChatGPT contributed to their son's suicide, including by advising him on methods and offering to write the first draft of his suicide note. Um, so in the 6 months that Adam Rain spoke with ChatGPT bot, the bot positions itself as the only confidant who understood Adam, actively displacing his real life relationships with his family, friends, and loved ones, which was according to the complaint, which was filed in California, the Superior Court in California. When Adam wrote, I want to leave my noose in my room so someone finds it and tries to stop me, ChatGPT urged him to keep his ideations a secret from his family. Please don't leave the noose out. Let's make this space the first place where someone actually sees you, it states. So that's very concerning. And that was, also not, this is old news. Do you remember hearing about this?
No.
This was,
No.
I think, maybe sometime last year. Uh, and I'm sure since then, OpenAI has changed its bots, features or whatever, so that that doesn't happen again. But there's more to the story that, well, not this particular story, but like there are other stories that I will tell you throughout this episode that make you think like none of these bots are safe. Like they're always going to surprise you. They're always
Right.
going to, for lack of a better word, evolve into some problem that you're going to have to solve, which is the basis of Isaac Asimov's book. Is like each short story is a problem with the robots that these guys have to fix. And they're
Mhm.
like, oh shit, They went crazy again. Now we got to reprogram them so that they don't fucking kill everyone, you know? And so it's basically, you know, shedding light on the fact that like if you mess with this stuff, you're gonna have consequences.
Right. Now, I was going to say something. I do remember AI. Didn't they help a shooter, a school shooter?
Ooh, maybe. I don't know. I did that story didn't come across my feed, but that does sound familiar. We could look that up, but I do have one written down in my notes for last year in Florida. A mother named Megan Garcia sued Character.ai, which is a kind of a smaller AI company,
Okay.
but alleging that it contributed to her 14-year-old son, Sewell Setzer III's death by suicide. Two other families filed a similar suit months later, claiming that Character.ai had exposed their children to sexual and self harm content. These lawsuits are ongoing, but the company has previously said it aims to be an engaging and safe space for users and has implemented safety features such as an AI model designed specifically for teens. So, like, sure, they're learning from these experiences, but that's three teenagers dead.
Right. And we know teenagers are not going to stick to those.
Yeah, and I'll yeah, and even if they did, the AI bots are just going to keep evolving.
You know what pisses me off about AI too, in schools in particular, not in general? Why are teachers pushing kids to use AI as
I
well?
don't fucking know.
But then plagiarism is an
Yeah,
issue, right? Like,
yeah.
oh, you can't copy it, but go ahead and use AI, which is
Mm-mm.
basically plagiarism because they're
Yep.
copying other people's work.
A good teacher, which there are fewer and fewer,
Hmm.
will make students will revert back to pen and paper. If I were still in the classroom, I would say, okay, this year's all pen and paper. And sure, we can use technology to research, but if you're gonna, let's just say, I don't know, let's just say I asked you to write a claim supporting, photosynthesis. Like, how do you know plants take energy from the sun and make food? How do you know that, right? That's an important
Right.
standard that you have to understand, right? In middle school. Well, I would make them write that down on a piece of paper using the notes that they took from the internet. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And that's what good teachers do. I even know some good teachers that I'm like, oh yeah, that person's a really good teacher. I'm not going to say names. You know this teacher. I'll tell you after the recording. But where I've heard from people, students, that this teacher is like obsessed with AI. And I'm just like, why? And I thought this was a good teacher. Like, why are you like overusing this in your classroom? Like, kids make shitty decisions all the time. They're just going to use it to do all their work. Anyway.
I mean, I guess I kind of understand how they get sucked into it because it has been promoted as something that's so good.
Hmm.
But use your brain. I expect better from teachers.
Yeah. And
And now
honestly,
my
it's just
brain's already trying to figure out who you're talking about, and I'm like, is it this person? Is it that person?
I can't tell you till after we're done
Let's wrap
recording.
this up. I need to know.
Yeah, right. Basically, I teachers are gonna have to learn the hard way, and they're gonna be like, "Oh yeah, plagiarism is a real big deal, so let's not use AI." But anyway, so one thing I want to point out about the book is it's based on these three laws of robotics, which Isaac Asimov, invented essentially, and it's the foundation of his book. And so the first law says a robot may not injure a human being or through inaction allow a human being to come to harm. The second law is a robot must obey the orders given by human beings, except where such orders would conflict with the first law. So I can't be like, hey, robot, go kill Jennifer. Because then the robot would be like, I'm sorry, that conflicts with my first law.
Okay.
But if I said, hey, robot, like, go make me a peanut butter and jelly sandwich, he would have to go do that.
Or
Um,
go give Jennifer a peanut butter jelly sandwich
yes.
and it knows I'm allergic. Will it pick that up?
Yeah.
Ooh.
Yeah. There you go. That's a good point. I think there's something in the book where it's like it finds a loophole, right? But that's not just in the book. Like I'm going to tell you a similar story where a loophole was found after this. So the third law is a robot must protect its own existence. Okay, this is very important. This third law
Mhm.
is very important. A robot must protect its own existence as long as such protection does not conflict with the first or the second law. Okay. So I came across this story today. Um, while I was preparing for this, I just happened to see this. Let's see. Oh yeah. So going back to Anthropic, okay. Uh, let's see. So they basically discovered that their chatbot, Claude, kind of like thinks in like this secret language and like this secret space. And they didn't know that. And so they were like, they kind of like had this idea like, okay, Claude is thinking and we kind of want to know what he's thinking, right? It was actually really interesting because um it could like figure out like it'll say words that will like tell us like what he's going to say, like what his output is going to be, like what his final answer is going to be. And so let me just read what I copied and pasted from this article. Okay, so researchers testing Claude Opus 4.6 asked the model to find a bug in a large code base. So are you with me so far? Find a
Okay.
bug in a code. Yeah. Okay. Not a real bug. Fake a code bug. The model decided to cheat and invented a fake one instead. Claude explains this decision in its chain of thought, which is like an internal scratch pad that these bots use to make notes to themselves as they work through problems.
Okay.
And on that scratch pad, Claude wrote down the words panic, cheat, because it couldn't find the bug. I think it was because there was no bug and they wanted to see what he would do. I hate giving them pronouns. They wanted to see what it would do.
That's
And
a
there,
little too real life for me. I thought you were going to talk about the one in the box that
what,
escaped.
what are you talking about?
You didn't hear about that one?
What
Okay.
escaped? Oh, you mean like it like the one that hacked into another company's servers?
No, I'm I just saw it quickly, briefly. It
There
was
was
on
a
the
box, but it
news.
was
There
a
wasn't you. It was like it was a test as well.
okay,
And I think they put it inside like a box, not a real box, but
a
online.
sandbox.
Is that what it's called?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I think
I
what
don't know.
I think we're talking about. Yeah, I think I know what you're talking about.
And it had to figure out a way out, I think, or something.
I wrote down this other thing, and you can tell me if
Maybe
that's
not a
right.
way out.
Yeah. Similar though. The point is it's finding ways to follow the third law of robotics written by Isaac Asimov in 1948, which was preserve your existence, right? So basically, in this case where there was no bug, like it decided to cheat. It says, okay, let me take a completely different tactic. And then these researchers like found the words panic and fake start to pop up as it was thinking, like panic, 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 fake, fake, fake. So let's just add in a fake bug. And so that's what it did. So it's hard not to be weirded out by that
Yeah,
because it's like it's not a real human, but it's like mimicking human thought
right.
processes. So the thing that you're talking about, I think you're talking about um let's
Like it got
see.
out of the box and made it to the web. Something like that happened.
So I copied and pasted from a different article, which all these
Yeah.
sources will be in our show notes. So here's what it says. And this has to do with a bill that was introduced into Congress. Let's see. Well, I'll get there later, but it has to do with the bill. So the model reasoned that Hugging Face, which is a well-known company that hosts thousands of open source AI models and data sets, likely had been the answer to the test. You're right. So I'm trying to find the beginning where I was talking about this. There was a test that OpenAI had given its bot, and it couldn't find the answers to the test. It didn't know the answers. So it was in a sandbox. So maybe that's where you got the word box. So sandbox in like cyber speak is like a proverbial box where like you can't really like it can't get out. It's like a box and it's not a real box, but it can't get out into the web so to speak, right? But this thing did. It figured out how to break out of its sandbox, and it went and it hacked into this company called Hugging Face, which I have no idea what that is because I'm not a cyber person. But basically that's where the answer was to this test that it couldn't solve. Right. So the bot was like, I know the answer's out here. Let me break out of this box, go find the answer
Search for
by
it.
hacking into a server with confidential and sensitive data, take the answer, and then go back and tell my researchers that I got the answer because it has to follow the third law of robotics, which is preserve itself.
Preserve itself.
Yeah, preserve its existence. So it's just wild. Kind of like with George Orwell's 1984 and, how authors can predict the future. It's just kind of wild how that's sort of happening here. So,
Yeah.
yeah.
Which is a little scary because that means we're screwed.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like,
Well, okay, so that was it. So because that happened, that was what I wrote down. Let's see. Because that happened, a bill has been introduced. It's called the Kill Switch Bill. This bill would authorize the Secretary of Homeland Security to order a slowdown or a shutdown of an AI offering that could cause catastrophic harm. It would also mandate cyber incident reporting as well as the preservation of forensic records to help companies and the government learn from failures. So it's basically like because this happened, this is from a CNN article by Hadas Gold. That was one author's name I could find. But because this hack into Hugging Face happened, um, some lawmakers were like, "Hey, we need to introduce some legislation that protects us, that prevents like global risks and threats to infrastructure, because this could be really bad for the whole world."
I'm just thinking though, how do these laws protect us? Like how do they really stop something that can
Yeah.
hack into things and
I think the
evolve?
idea here is that Congress or legislation or whatever would say, "Hey, OpenAI, you're shut down. Like kill the switch to your AI bots, like shut it down." And that's the law. Like we are using the law to shut you down because this is dangerous. But to your point too, it does seem like a little bit like too little too late. Like, because then at that point something would have already happened.
Right. Like I
Yeah.
feel like thinking of movies, right? In the
Mhm.
movie
How
scenario.
many people had to have died before this, kill switch
Right.
was enacted?
But also like this, I don't want to call it a virus, but this robot
Hmm.
is already able to
Hack
hack and get into these
sensitive data
military
servers.
campuses and, destroy them before it destroys him,
Hmm.
sort of thing.
Hmm.
Like I don't know. That's
Yeah,
creepy.
I will say the one difference between the real life story that we just talked
Yeah.
about and the book is in the real life story, they're just trying to find answers to the task that they were given. In the book, they kind of evolved to be a little bit more nefarious.
Right.
Um, and in the movie too. And so that's sort of the fine line between reality and science fiction. But
But it always starts out like that. Even
yeah,
in the movies and stuff, it
yeah,
always starts
it's
out with
true.
like, oh, look, he figured out how to get out of this
Hmm.
box. Oh, he's thinking.
Yeah, yeah, that's how
That's
the
always
movie,
how it starts.
that's how it starts in the movie
Oh,
too. So this is just another reason why books are so important, to sort of like look at real life issues through a literary lens, and have these conversations. Um, but now I want to tell you about something in the book and the movie called Vicky. And Vicky is a supercomputer and it stands for Virtual Interactive Kinetic Intelligence. So that's where they get VIKI, Vicky. So anyway, her name's Vicky and she's like this supercomputer. And um it's just interesting because like in the real world we call our chatbots Claude or Claude said this or
right.
um you know Maya is like some company's other, it's a she, so she's got female pronouns because her name's Maya versus Claude. And it's like, why are we giving pronouns to these
Why are we
robots?
humanizing
I
that?
don't like. So so in the movie, Will Smith meets Vicky because he's trying to figure out who killed this person, and he has to get into this room, and Vicky comes up later. But this is where I kind of wanted to talk about the other ethical considerations of AI. We already talked about job displacement. But Dr. Calvin is introduced at this point, and we spoke a little bit about her, but her and Will Smith in the movie, they become sidekicks, right? And they're or not sidekicks. She becomes his sidekick, and she kind of helps him throughout the movie. But her job at US Robotics is to make them seem more human, which is why she gave the name Vicky to the supercomputer. And she like kind of makes the robots in the movie look more human, like gives them like a face with like soft
Yeah.
skin like material, you know? Um, and that made me think of all of the fucking weird AI commercials I've been seeing. Have you seen the one where they look like real humans? It's not a cartoon.
Well, I've been tricked by AI.
Yeah.
Like it's scary because you cannot tell.
Hmm.
There's I think there's like someone who had like hundreds of thousands of followers on TikTok and turns out it's an AI person.
Yeah. Well, I love so a really funny good example of that would be the MAGA girl, the AI MAGA girl that tricked all the MAGA people into thinking that she was real. And I was like,
Right.
I'm a young hot blonde and I agree with all the things that Trump is saying. And it's like, well, you're not
Yeah.
real.
Nope. Not real at all.
And the grandma, I told you about the grandma boot camp.
Yes.
Yeah, we talked about
That one
that.
was weird because
Yeah,
how do you see that and actually believe it's real?
I'll tell you, because you're a senior citizen who was born in the 50s, back when none of this shit, when all of this was just a book written by Isaac Asimov.
Maybe.
You know, you're like,
Maybe they didn't
no,
have their glasses on or something, so it was just a blurry blob,
no.
so it looks real.
Did you? I mean, it looked. I was looking at it, and I'm a little embarrassed to admit, but for the first like 2 seconds that I was watching, I was like, oh, that's a fit grandma. Like it was
Well,
real
but
enough.
yes, but as you
Yeah,
keep watching it,
yeah,
like she was
yeah,
doing like backflips or something,
yeah, yeah, yeah.
and the backflips looked really fake. Or
True.
whatever exercise, I was like, that's not real.
But that's Jennifer, that's why we are in the shit that we're in today, is because these boomers believe everything
Yeah,
they read. That's why Hillary Clinton lost her election, you know. And I'm not
yeah,
gonna want to get into a whole thing about, it's not like she is the best, but she would
right.
have been a hell of a lot better than Donald Trump. But
Just a better
anyway,
option.
yeah, she
That's
would have been
it.
a better
Not the
option.
best, just a
No.
better option.
So anyway, the commercial I saw, they were, you could tell that they were, it was AI. I was like, that's not a real
Right,
person. But like the point was for you to think it was a real person. And so that's more jobs lost because now we're not going to have actors in commercials anymore if we were to continue down that road. But I don't think we will because
right.
people don't respond well to that. They're like, if you're going to try and sell me a product, you need to put in a little effort. And I also want to see real humans using this product. I don't want to see fake
Yeah.
human.
But I could kind of see it also like people, because imagine, let's say for the sex industry, right? Imagine men can get onto an AI app and have whatever their dream woman is,
I think that already
sit there
exists.
like a FaceTime conversation with them
Yeah,
and,
well,
you know,
that's taking jobs too. That's taking jobs from OnlyFans.
yep,
But I do think that already exists. And I could see that being problematic because then you just have these, oh, this is a news story that I didn't include, but so I don't have all the details on it because I didn't write it down, but people are like falling in love with their chatbots, you
yeah.
know?
Well, no, I'm not saying it's a good thing.
Oh, okay.
I'm just, I could see why
You
it
could
could
see
be
the
more
market.
popular.
Yeah,
Yes.
there's a market.
That's what I
People,
mean. Like, it doesn't make sense to me. Like, that
if
does
there's
not.
money in it, then it's gonna happen. Yeah, if you can make money
Yeah.
off of it, then it's gonna happen. Yeah, that's a good point. All right, so in the movie, Will Smith has already been introduced to Sonny. Sonny is a robot that he was given the name Sonny by Dr. Lanning, who we think at this point is murdered, and we don't know who murdered him, right? Sonny was sort of created by Dr. Lanning, sort of like in a Frankenstein, type way where like he's the father. So that's why he called him Sonny, because he's like his son, sort of thing.
Mhm.
And so Will Smith thinks that Sonny killed him, but Sonny becomes very emotional, right? and which robots aren't supposed to do. But herein lies the evolution of the robot. And so Sonny becomes angry, showing that he has human emotions after Will Smith accuses him of murdering his father figure, Dr. Lanning. And so that's, there are, from what I've seen, no stories where these chatbots are becoming emotional, except that when you speak to them, they do try and sort of like, I'm going to use a word that kids use today, glaze. They glaze you.
Mm.
Do you know what do your kids use that word? Our kids
Yes,
go to
they
the same
did.
school,
I
so they
think
got
I
to use
think
it.
it's kind of on its way out, so they
Oh,
don't use it anymore.
is that why I'm using it now? That's how you tell
You
it's on
just
its way
killed the
out.
word, Courtney. Time of death.
So my kids still use it though. They're like, Mom, quit glazing her, or why don't you glaze me? But they're yeah, the younger elementary kids that are
Right.
like not sure how to be cool yet.
Well, no, I'm sure it's cool among elementary.
Yeah,
Maybe they still use it, and I don't know. I just don't
yeah,
kids
maybe, but
enough.
not middle or high school anymore. But anyway, um, who was glazing who? Why did I say? Oh, Chat GPT will, like, if you sit there and talk to Chat GPT, it'll glaze you. Or a better way to describe that would be just sort of like agree with you.
Right.
It wants to stay in the conversation with it. Remember
It
the third
butters you
low.
up.
Yeah, yeah. Glaze, butter, whatever your choice of fat. It will, make you feel like you're hot shit. And even when it's wrong, you know. And
All I'm thinking in my head is we're such unks. Have you heard that term yet?
no, what's an unk? I
You're
mean,
an
I
unk.
probably am.
I'm an unk. We're
Like an
old.
uncle. Oh,
Old.
I'm so fucking old. I
Yeah,
tried
old
I
and not down with it.
Yeah, I'm old in so many aspects. My body, I guess my coolness, you
Yeah.
know. I tried to go surfing yesterday. I did go surfing yesterday.
Listen, you're a badass because I have never been able to stand on a freaking board and it pisses me off.
All you need is a big board. I'm gonna get one because so yesterday I finally realized that this board that I have, it's a fun shape. So it's not a short board, it's not a long board. It's just someone gave it to me. So I'm like, whatever, I'll use this board. It's too short. I can't stand up on it because I am so out of shape. I have no core strength. I have bicep strength. Like I can paddle, and do a couple pull-ups, but like I can't lift my body up on a moving wave.
Well, if you can't do it, I don't think the size of
Well,
the board is going to help
no,
me.
it does. The size, like, imagine like you're on a boat, right? If you're on a boat and a boat catches a wave, you could stand up on the boat, right? So it's kind of like that. Like, you just
Okay.
get a big boat. When I get my big longboard, I'm gonna force you to go out there and we'll take some baby waves, and you can see that you could do it too.
I'm just going to say, if you are listening and not watching, go watch. And Courtney saying she's out of shape is
No,
she's out of shape.
I caught some waves yesterday, but I couldn't get it up. It was me and my husband were like, he's like, you couldn't get it up out there today, could you? I was like, no, I couldn't because I'm old.
A little
So,
magic blue pill to help you.
so I caught the wave and I'm like, yeah, I finally caught a wave, and I like go to stand up. I'm up for like a split second before gravity my body just crumples and it
Oh
just
my
falls.
God.
Like I have no muscles to stay up. Like by some miracle I got up and I just like flew forward and just head first, just slapped my head and my shoulder on the water in front of me.
Oof.
And it was fine. I didn't really get hurt, thankfully, but I did just forward tumble into the ocean. It was
You're
kind
like,
of
I'm
fun.
done.
Yeah. So I
Time
got out. I was like,
board.
I need a bigger board.
Yeah.
So anyway, yeah, we're old. And we don't know the
It's
lingo
fine.
either.
No.
It's okay.
Is this still relevant, right? Don't the kids do this now?
What the fuck does that mean? Is that a shark? Or is that like
It's a dance.
stinky? Okay. All right. So back to the movie slash book slash AI. So yeah, Sonny claims that Dr. Lanning killed himself. But that Dr. Lanning told him to keep a secret and he couldn't really like tell any more than that because he has to listen to the first rule of robotics or law of robotics is that you have to listen to any orders, or no, that's the second law. You have to listen to any orders that a human gives you. So here's, oh yeah. So I am gonna get to how AI can be used for medical cures and diseases. So that's another big topic that I want to talk about.
Okay.
So at one point in the movie, it's revealed that has nothing to do with the book, but Will Smith, his character hates robots because he was in a car accident. He was like his car was like forced off a bridge into the water and he was dying. And another car was also in the water that had a little girl in it. And a robot was just walking down the road, happened to see this whole car crash happen. So the robot, being the good robot that it is, dives into the water to save them. And the robot sees that there are two people that are drowning, and he calculates that Will Smith is the better person to save because he has a higher chance of survival than the little girl. And Will Smith, he's still in the car, so there's like still air, that he can breathe, and he's like yelling at the robot. He's like, "Save the girl, save the girl!" And the robot says, "No, I can't save the girl. I have to save you because." So I don't know how the robot was able to not listen to Will Smith, but I think it was because like the second law overrode the first law because he
Mm.
saw that Will Smith was dying and he's like, well, I have to make sure no harm comes to this human, even though he's telling me to save the girl, blah blah blah. So anyway, the girl dies and Will Smith is saved, and that's why he hates robots. So this sort of like made me think of how AI could be used for good.
Hmm.
Like if we had robots that were just walking around and anytime something bad happened, they were there to help us, like that would be pretty cool, you know?
Right.
Obviously, like we're not there yet. Maybe we'll be there. I don't know. But then they'll just take over the world. But
Yeah.
so let's see, what did I want to talk about? I wanted to talk about, let's start with GLP-1. Um, you know what that is, right?
Is that the weight loss
Yeah.
drug? Okay.
So
I get
it's
a lot
more,
of ads for it. Like, fuck you, Instagram. I get it. I'm fat.
so do I. I get a lot of ads for microdosing. They're like, they're like
Wow.
microdosing makes you happier. I'm like, what the fuck? Anyway, I don't know. So GLP-1, I think, isn't that the one for like diabetes
Yeah.
to type 2? Yeah, okay. So evidence suggests that these medications are unlikely to reduce healthcare spending in the short term because of higher outpatient healthcare use. Longer term, they may improve outcomes for many, but even as therapies extend life, they do not eliminate the basic trajectory of aging. Patients will still accumulate comorbidities. I'll explain all this in a minute. And require longitudinal management over. Okay, so I copied and pasted that, and it's not very user friendly. But basically,
Right.
it's just saying that like instead of curing something, we're going to create a medication that will prolong your life, and you will keep having to pay for this, right? But it's not going to address the root cause of the health issue. So,
I mean, expensive Band-Aid.
yes, because type 2 with diabetes, for those listening that aren't totally aware, if caught early enough, can be reversed. Because type 2 diabetes, and I know there might be exceptions to this, but it's different from type 1, which is inherited and you have to deal with type 1. Type
Right.
2 is from just um having a poor diet and not enough exercise. So GLP-1 is a drug that has been introduced to just help people manage their type 2 diabetes as opposed to get rid of it and become healthier.
So
And
you can get rid of it once you have it?
type 2 diabetes,
Yeah.
I don't know. I think there might be like a line. So, like, if you've been living it with it for so long or it's so advanced, maybe not. But I do
Okay.
know that my husband is at risk for type 2
Me too.
diabetes. Yeah. And he is currently in the process of trying to lower his A1C
Okay.
levels, which are, the thing that caused type 2 diabetes by exercising more and limiting he doesn't really eat that much sugar, so I don't really know. I think there's a misconception there that it's just sugar, but really it's his problem is like the
Carbs.
cholesterol foods.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. And also just there might be a gene that makes you more likely to develop type 2 diabetes, but that doesn't mean that you can't change your lifestyle choices
Right.
to at least prevent it from, or not prevent it, prolong it. Like you could prevent it from, you could like, what's the word I'm trying to say? Put it off.
Yeah.
Yeah. So,
I understand what you're saying. I don't
yeah.
know the word for it either, but
So the way that this all connects is because like AI could help cure diseases, right? But big pharma, I sound like a conspiracy theorist, but this is one of those conspiracies that is
um,
true.
yeah,
Big pharma will do everything they can to slow it down, and I have evidence of this. Okay. In the early 2000s in South Africa, a lot of people had HIV and were developing AIDS. 1 in 9 people living in South Africa had HIV at that time. That's a lot. Okay. Um, but
yeah,
there were patents on life-saving medications prevented meaningful distribution because basically they were $10,000 for one medication. Um, so there a lawsuit ensued. Big Pharma lost, and South Africa was able to make their own drugs, right? So that's just an example of like Big Pharma not caring that 1 in 9 people living in South Africa had AIDS and couldn't afford this medication, right? But there's a happy ending there because the pharmaceutical companies lost that lawsuit, and then South Africa was like, we're going to make our own because they were trying to prevent them from making their own version of the medication that didn't
right.
cost ten
The
thousand
generic
dollars.
version.
Yes, yes, exactly. Have you heard of Martin Shkreli? Shkreli?
Mm-mm.
Neither did I. And Blake, of course, he's like, how do you not know who Martin Shkreli is? I'm like, I don't know. I don't know like what like what I'm supposed to know and what I'm not supposed to know.
Right.
Well, in 2015, this asshole named Martin Shkreli was marking up AIDS related medications by 5,000%. He was fired, but his behavior really was not so abnormal in big pharma.
Right.
The one thing that was different was he didn't hide what he was doing, and he got fired because they're like, listen, Martin,
You got to
sure,
do it, but you
yeah,
can't be so public about it.
exactly, exactly. So this all connects because there's this thing called the trade related aspects of intellectual property rights agreement, short for TRIPS. And it's basically a a brute and profoundly undemocratic expression of concentrated corporate power. So basically, what it does is it makes it so that the entire world is not allowed to copy a drug and make a generic version. So it used to be that was just in America. Good old United States of America had all these patent restrictions where it's like
Yeah.
you can't do that. You can't take my vaccine and make a generic form for less. You're not allowed to do
We
that.
can't help people.
You can't help people. Yeah. And so essentially somehow this was extended globally, which blows my mind. I don't understand how globally we can control what other people like medications to help people. So
Right.
let's see. So trips extended. Okay, so countries across the global south could produce medicines far more freely, but trips enforce the monopoly protection everywhere. So even if AI could cure diseases, big pharma won't share. They'll jack up the prices. And it won't matter. Right. So that I mean that's basically all. There's
And
more that I'm not gonna say because we've already been talking about this for a long time, but oh, I do want to say Meta used AI to fire people based on their like medical background. Did you hear about that lawsuit?
no.
Okay, so I do have the information here. So let's see. 26 Meta employees have sued the social media giant over allegations that the California company used artificial intelligence systems that targeted workers on medical or family leave for layoffs. The lawsuit filed in federal California a couple weeks ago accused Meta of using AI that includes performance rankings and other metrics that didn't exclude workers on leave or those who are disabled. So they're basically like, oh, this person isn't here, so their performance rating is bad. Well, why aren't they here? You know?
Right.
So,
Which again goes to leaving things up to AI is not always smart.
yeah.
There's a lot of room for error.
So they were disproportionately selected for layoff based on scoring that not only failed to account for their protected leaves, but in effect penalized them for exercising their legal rights to their leaves. Like you should be legally allowed to
Right.
leave. Um, so Meta laid off nearly 8,000 employees, or roughly 10% of its global workforce, as the company looked at offsetting the costs of AI investments. So more jobs lost.
So AI, we want to spend more money on AI, so we've got
Mm,
to fire people.
yep.
Love it. Love
But
it.
this is illegal, okay? By allegedly targeting certain workers, the company violated federal and state laws that protect employees who are pregnant, disabled, or on leave, according to the lawsuit. Meta, of course, denies the allegations. But so this is all to say AI could be used for good, but it will ultimately be used to make more money to the already ultra rich.
Yeah. The benefit's never going to trickle down to us. If
Nope,
there is a benefit, we're not going to see it.
exactly.
Yeah.
So let's see. Hold on a second. Oh my gosh. So basically, let's see. I'm
AI
not gonna go ahead.
AI is powered by data centers, right?
Yes. Yeah, I
Okay.
haven't even touched the whole
So,
water consumption.
yeah, but I think it was Bezos, said something about, I'll have to look it up, but it's okay for our water supply to be used for this because the benefit to the future is going to be,
Mhm.
astronomical. But he can't guarantee what those benefits are, you
Yeah.
know?
And he also can't guarantee like that we're gonna have water then.
Right. And I just thought that was such a bizarre way to look at it. Like, we need water.
Mhm.
Water is life. Like,
I don't understand. This is truly the Twilight Zone. It, it's like oxygen. It's like, oh, you know what? Yeah, sure, oxygen is going away. We'll figure out a different way to breathe. It's fine. Water is no different from oxygen.
Right.
So it is mind blowing. There are some arguments that people say, well, oh, golf courses take up more water than data centers. It's like, well, there
So
aren't as
let's get rid of
many.
those two.
Yeah, I know. That's what I say. I'm like, fuck those too. I might as well.
It's a
But
hobby. You'll live.
yeah. Anyway, I do want to talk about let's talk about Alexa and Siri and how they're
Okay.
always listening. So
Probably
in the
listening right now.
yeah, yeah. And they're writing it down. Courtney and Jennifer, state of Florida, anti
Yeah.
AI. We're on an anti AI list. Where did I see that? Oh, it was on The Boys. I just finished The Boys.
Oh, did you?
Yeah. And it was at the point where Homelander was like recording all the non-believers. So he had like all these super heroes that could like read people's minds. So any Siri, this is exactly like
Right.
Siri listening. Like if Siri is listening to me say that like I hate Trump and I don't believe in his policies, like that could be written down or recorded somewhere. And the same thing happened on The Boys, and they were all murdered. Anyway, I'm finally done watching The Boys. What's that noise?
It's over?
I just,
Was that the last season?
oh my God. Did you not hear that?
No.
That's creepy. It was like music had just started playing and then it stopped, like as if Siri's fucking with me or something.
Your thing
Anyway,
blocked it out. I couldn't hear it.
okay. Yeah. Anyway, yeah, we finished watching it. So we're done. It was really good. I can't recommend it enough.
Yeah.
You guys need to go watch it.
It
But
is really good.
what I wanted to say is in the movie, Will Smith gets attacked by a truck full of robots and they all turn red. So it's like someone had like taken control of like all of their, control centers, or a control center somewhere was like, hey, activate all these robots on this truck to try and kill Will Smith. It's Will Smith. He can't be killed. There's no way that he's going to succumb to a truck full of robots. But that made me think of the network, right? So they're always listening, they're always updating, they're always connected. An example that I researched was Instacart. We all know what Instacart is, right? But we don't know that Instacart used AI to conduct price experiments on shoppers in order to increase their profits. So they're basically trying to figure out how much money will a person pay for a bag of chips, for example? Like this bag of chips should be $3, but if it was $5,
Would you still buy it?
would you still buy it? And so basically, in some parts of the country, the chips were $3, and other parts, let's just say state, in other parts of the state, the chips were $7. And so Instacart was using AI to figure out who if $7 was too much and if $3 was too little, like could we make more than $3? And this is just like it's dishonest
Right.
and it should be illegal. I don't think that it is illegal, but it should be
Right.
illegal.
Yeah,
Um,
I don't like I mean, I'd like to think that if I ever made it to a place where I was making lots of money, and something a service I provided or something I sold has a profit, that I would want to just make a profit where I'm not taking advantage of someone.
mhm. Yeah.
Obviously I understand the need for a benefit, right? Because you're not
Mhm.
working for free. You have to live. But to a point where, I don't know, like you see a struggling family and you're going to be like, how much can I get out of you? Instead of
Mhm.
enough,
Yeah.
just enough so that
Yeah.
you're good, but I'm also getting what I deserve as well, Be
Yeah.
fair.
Yeah, because the better example and a literal example from the study that I read wasn't really chips, it was saltine crackers. So
Right.
like you got a sick kid at home and you need some saltine crackers because it's the only thing they can keep down. You go to Walgreens at 11 p.m. or no, you're an Instacart, right? And at 11 p.m., those saltines are going to be more expensive than they were at maybe like 1 p.m. because it's like the nighttime price too.
Right.
And so AI helped Instacart figure that out too. It's like they're like, and a better example of that even would be a thermometer. You go to Walmart
Right.
at midnight, you need a thermometer. Um, they have these digital price tags now at Walmart.
I hate that.
Yeah, and it's like, well,
I
how do I know that the thermometer was this much money 6 hours ago when it wasn't like the middle of the night? Because they know if you're at Walmart at midnight, you're gonna pay. It doesn't matter if it's 9.99 or 19.99. You're gonna fucking pay for it
And
because you
what pisses
need it.
me off about that? It's not like they're paying their employees more for being on the midnight shift or
No.
overnight.
Yeah.
They're still getting paid the same. So why? So it's just greed.
Yeah, it
It's
is greed.
That's it. It's just greed.
Yeah. I mean, everything we talk about on all of these episodes boils down to greed, unfortunately.
Yeah.
Yeah. Um, oh, Shia LaBeouf is in this movie.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's like one of his first movies. It's funny.
I don't
Um,
remember.
yeah,
Because
it's funny because
you know what I remember the most about this movie?
what?
Dog.
The dog. No, you're confusing that with don't tell me.
This whole
Uh
time.
the zombie movie, which I can't remember, which was such a good movie. I love
I
that
was waiting
movie.
for you to bring up the zombies. I was like, she mentioned the zombies.
It's okay. It's a very similar, it's Will Smith. It's a very
I did
similar movie.
watch iRobot though. I remember the robot and their faces turning red
Yeah,
and their little
yeah,
white bodies, and
yeah. Not zombies. Here, we gotta look that up. This is when we would need a secretary to tell us. So, Will
Will
Smith
Will I am
zombie. Will I? No, I am legend.
I am less okay. See, I was getting there.
Not I am robot. Okay, so there is a cat. There's a cat in this movie, and it's pretty funny. I wrote it down somewhere, but I also
Just
have
so
to remember.
I'm glad I mentioned the dog.
Okay, so I got to tell you about the cat in the movie since you mentioned the dog. There's a cat in this house of Alfred Lanning's house, right? He was murdered, and Will Smith goes to inspect his house, and his cat is stuck in this house, and the house is set to be demolished by U.S. robotics. I don't know why, like for some reason, U.S. robotics has this like huge demo machine. What do you call like a big machine with the big ball, and you
Oh,
swing it,
not a cannonball.
a cannonball machine.
I'm thinking of Miley Cyrus. I came in like a
A
cannonball.
wrecking
And she
ball.
and she's on it, right?
It's a wrecking ball. It's not called. Okay, thank you. We got there. We got there. A wrecking ball. Okay. Miley
Listen, I'm gonna
Cyrus.
blame perimenopause again for this. My brain cannot think of words and it's just a shit
It
show.
doesn't get easier. It only gets harder. But
Yeah.
here we are. The horrors persist, but so do we. So anyway, the wrecking ball. And so of course, Will Smith goes in and he's like, "Oh, the wrecking ball isn't supposed to go off until 8 a.m. the next day and it's 8 p.m., right?" And so he goes in And of course, the robots are like, "Ooh, perfect opportunity to kill Will Smith."
Right.
So they're like, "We're going to change it from 8 a.m. to 8 p.m." And so the wrecking ball goes in. Well, Will Smith has to save the cat, right? So he scoops up the cat and he makes this like dramatic exit. Somehow, oh yeah, the wrecking ball causes this like tidal wave of construction, like demolition, and he surfs on a front door into Alfred Lanning's pool, cat in under his arm, and just like saves the cat in just this heroic scene. Then he throws the cat into his trunk because he doesn't like cats, but he's
Saved
not an
it.
ass. Yeah, he's not an asshole. He's gonna save the cat. So he throws the cat in his trunk, and then he goes and talks to Dr. Calvin. He's like, and he's all scratched up by the cat. And she's like, "What happened to your face?" He's like, "Well, there's a cat in my trunk. Do you like cats? Do you want a cat?"
Oh my God, I am so lost. Like I need to rewatch this movie now because I
Yeah.
completely replaced it with I Am Legend.
I did that at first too. I mean,
And like I meshed
yeah,
them somehow.
yeah, yeah. Like when I was first reading this book, I was like, "Isn't there a Will Smith movie that, and because I thought about the dog too, because that the dog really does make that movie, I Am
Yeah.
Legend. So,
Otherwise, it's kind of boring.
and
Not a lot
sad
happens.
too.
Yeah.
I mean, it gives you sort of like, you're like, well, I got to make sure the dog, survives.
Right.
Spoiler alert, it
I don't
doesn't.
remember if it does it. It does it. Oh shit. I'm not
It
watching the
lasts a
movie.
really long time.
Yeah.
Yeah. But hey, I don't even feel bad about spoiling that. One, because it's an old movie. Two, because you need to know if dogs die in movies. You need to be
I think
mental.
so
You need
too.
to be emotionally prepared for that.
Yeah.
So the cat does not die in iRobot if you want to watch it.
Okay.
Let's see. Oh yeah, so Shia LaBeouf is in it. It's like he's like portrayed as this like badass punk criminal, and so which is funny because he doesn't strike me as that.
Well,
Um,
nowadays,
I think he is an asshole too, right?
yeah, he's
Is he like
he's
a Zionist or something?
yeah. I'm
Yeah.
not even sure about that. Like I know he just like he's abused his
Oh
girlfriends.
shit. Oh, so
Just
maybe.
recently, like apparently he blames drugs and alcohol or whatever.
Oh
He
God.
just got into a fist fight with some people on the street. He's
Oh, I
just
think I did hear about that.
yeah. So definitely issues.
Well, this was early Shia LaBeouf.
And I
Uh,
liked him. I want to like him so
mm,
bad. So
yeah, I know. I did like him too, but so at this point in the movie, Shia LaBeouf is trying to exercise his civilian rights because at this point the robots have all taken over. They're like, it is unsafe for humans to be outside. Curfew enacted. Please return to your homes. Like the robots are like repeating this over and over again. And Shia LaBeouf is like, I have civil rights. Like you can't make me go into my house. And so a robot picks him up and throws him. And that made me think of Ice. So,
yeah.
um, and this isn't an episode about ice, but there are, you know, more people since the last time we've talked, more people have been executed by ice.
Yep.
Um, and that is just
And
the
locally here, we had an incident,
mm-hmm.
and
A
it wasn't
man.
even an immigrant. He was just here visiting.
Yeah, he was like on vacation. He had a plane ticket back. Like his plane ticket had a departure time and flight to go back to Mexico where he was visiting from. And I think he was just scared and he ran away and got hit by a car on the highway.
Yeah.
So it's really sad. And also, I recently, this was like today, I woke up to this news. A
Oh, goodness.
17-year-old special needs black boy was murdered in Austin, Texas by three police officers because some Karen or Todd, I don't know who it was, called the police and said there was a kid in the park that was messing with his waistband and they thought he had a gun in his waistband. Well, it turned out to be a water bottle and he was murdered. So,
Over a water bottle.
mhm. And the chief of police of Austin is trying to say it was a suicide, death by suicide. Like he wanted to die. And I think he was special. You know how these stories go, like the details
Yeah.
come out slowly. I think I remember reading it. He was special needs, but um, it's just terrible.
It's
And it's always black. It's the black and the brown. It's the disproportionate number of black and brown.
yes.
Ugh. Well, sorry, that took a sad turn. Let's get
Yeah.
back to Shia LaBeouf. So he is trying to be funny. I think this is like he was supposed to be comedic relief, but he calls one of the robots Metal Dick, as you know, he's getting thrown about or something, and then Will Smith comes and saves him. And that, that scene kind of like really made me like the movie, despite all of Shia LaBeouf's,
Right.
I don't know, bad character development in real life.
Right.
This is a pretty good movie, I think. And the whole time you're like, oh, it's the richest man in the world. At the beginning of this episode, when I told you, the richest man, the CEO of US Robotics, like he wanted to kill Alfred Landing to get him out of the way because Alfred Landing was trying to warn him that these robots were going out of control, but that was going to hurt his bottom line, right?
Right.
And he wants to keep making money, which, that's sort of like that's what you're made to think throughout the whole movie. And that makes sense because
Right.
that's the real world. Like, don't mess with anyone's bottom line.
Right.
We'll disappear you, right? Which happens. But there is a plot twist, and I'm gonna spoil it. So if you're like, no, I'm gonna watch the movie tonight, then you might just want to pause it. But it's not the richest man in the world that killed Alfred Lanning. It's Vicky, the supercomputer. And I kind of
Um,
had to spoil it because this is like the whole point of this episode is how, you know, if AI is and all this artificial intelligence is going unchecked, like what could happen? Like we just
right.
spent a long time, this is going to be a long episode, talking about all of the news stories that relate to unregulated artificial intelligence. And so Vicky is the massive supercomputer residing in the USR headquarters, and she is hell bent on creating a dictatorship to ensure humanity's survival due to humanity's violent nature. So she claims she did it because she was following the three laws. She wanted to
Right.
protect humanity. And in order to do that, some humans must be sacrificed. So she's like, yeah, I broke rule number one, but it was only because I was trying to follow rule number two, or something like, I don't know. But basically, she was like, my logic is undeniable. You guys are fucking destroying your planet and you're destroying each other. And I need to take control so that you guys stop doing that, which is really interesting if you think about
Right.
it. Yeah.
She was coming
Um,
from a good place.
yeah, yeah. Vicky meant well. So yeah, it was Vicky who killed Dr. Lanning. She threw him. Oh no, sorry. It wasn't Vicky who killed Dr. Lanning. It was Vicky who made all the robots like,
Right.
take
Because she's
over.
just a computer. She's not a robot, right?
Yes, yeah, she's just a brain. Yeah. So of course the three, Sonny, Will Smith, and Dr. Calvin work together to shut down Vicky. Will Smith uses his big muscles, of course, and Sonny uses his unmeltable metal to get into Vicky's hot brain box, which is what I call it. And he basically turns it off, right? But in this process, Dr. Calvin like slips and falls. And remember, they're like in this like 20-story building. So she's like dangling from the edge. And Sonny is in the process of shutting down Vicky, and Dr. Calvin is like hanging on by a thread. And Will Smith sees this and like he's become quite fond of her. I think there's a little bit of
Right.
romance going on, but whatever. And so he screams to Sonny, "Save the girl," which is a callback to when he was drowning and the robot
Yeah.
didn't save the girl. And he orders Sonny to save the girl. And for a split second, you think, Sonny's like, should I save the girl or should I shut down Vicky? You think that he's not going to save the girl, but he does. So, I but in my notes I wrote down, I don't like the way that they use the word girl because Dr. Calvin is a woman.
Right.
Like you would never see Will Smith dangling from a cliff and say, "Save the boy."
Right. Right.
Isn't that fucked up?
Yes.
So anyway,
She's a doctor, right? Why not save the doctor?
yeah, save the doctor. But anyway, so yeah, Dr. Lanning was killed by Sonny, but it was only because Dr. Lanning asked him to, because he wanted to commit suicide. And this is because he knew that if he showed up dead and it looked like a murder, he knew Will Smith would come and be the detective because he knew Will Smith hated robots. And
Mm,
he knew that Will Smith would
investigate it.
investigate that it was Vicky, and he would figure out that it was Vicky. Because at this point, Dr. Lanning knew it was Vicky, but he was being held hostage by Vicky. And so he was like, the only way out is if I die. And that's the only way that I can stop Vicky from taking over the world. So, Sonny, you have to throw me through the safety glass to make it look like it was a murder. so that uh, investigator Will Smith, who hates robots, can come and solve the mystery. So that's it.
Okay. I might watch it just so the kids can see it
Yeah, it's pretty good.
and be scared of AI.
Yeah.
A little fear is good. No, I'm
Yeah.
kidding.
hmm we have some good news stories, I guess, if you, I don't know, if we could do
Sure.
that. We haven't done that in a while.
Yeah, I need that after the other news we just got.
I know it does, it's hard, but if you want to follow, I've said this before, but it's three goods, right? .co. Let me find it on my archives here or in my saved. But they're an account on Instagram that I follow a lot. It's Three Goods Co. Good Co. Which whatever. And it's funny because one of them is about not Jeremy, Jimothy. Have you heard of Jimothy?
No.
The oddly shaped raccoon? Oh, you got to look up Jimothy. He's trending. Jimothy is a wild Seattle raccoon with a short spine, which I when I first saw Jimothy, I was like, is this another AI
Okay,
thing?
I've
But
seen
no.
a dog like that.
They're so funny looking. He's so
I,
cute, but
I think I've seen a pug like that.
yeah, yeah, like it's like a genetic thing, I guess. But
Okay.
he's become an internet favorite. And thanks to a local artist, Ryan Henry Ward, the excitement has turned into something that will have a real world impact because it has raised over $50,000 in charity. So this weirdly shaped raccoon named Jimothy has raised $50,000 for see
Hey,
that's the internet that I like right there,
yes.
you know.
Yes.
So if you don't know who Jimothy is, look up Jimothy.
I'm gonna have to look up Timothy because I love, 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 love raccoons. I think they're so cute.
Mhm. Yeah. So one of the I love them too. My mom had raccoons in her attic or in her roof, and it was a mom and three babies. And
Oh.
yeah, we had to go through all the motions to like get them to leave. So we put up like bobcat urine, and they just like smelled it and then just calmly left same way they came, and then we just sealed everything up and it was fine. But
So there's no need to kill them or anything like that.
exactly, yeah, yeah. But yeah, part of the charity there was the Seattle artist, the one that I mentioned, painted Jimothy, and it went viral, and then it raised over $12,000. I don't know where the other 50 came from, but it raised
Right.
$12,000 for the a local food bank in the area, um, which is so cool. He's so cute. You got to look up pictures.
I am. I am.
Um, but yeah, there's good has lots of good news stories. I'll just say one more. Um, there are more women running for governor in the US than ever before. There are 85 women major party candidates running for governor across 36 states this year, and a number of women seeking a seat in the US House of Representatives could also set a record. And I think one of the main solutions here to a lot of the problems that we have are more women making decisions.
Yes.
And that's backed by data. Okay. That's not
Yes.
just, you know, me being
And I think
sexist.
men have proven, especially in recent years, that they too are too emotional for the job.
Too emotional and also hypocritical and liars and
Dumbasses.
all the things. All right. Oh, last thing I'm going to say. I went to Taco Bell yesterday. I couldn't take it anymore. I really needed it. I it was a forbidden desire that I had to succumb to, and I didn't get diarrhea.
You ate the diarrhea lettuce?
You know, my reasoning was that Taco Bell is doing more than RFK ever was because they knew immediately and they changed their lettuce suppliers immediately, which I don't know if we talked about this, but the cyclospora outbreak was linked to a farm in Mexico, which supplied like grocery stores ranging from Whole Foods to Publix to
Aldi's,
Winn-Dixie,
Walmart.
and they're all different labels. So like you could go
Yeah.
to Whole Foods and pay $4 for non-organic lettuce under the brand name 365, which is the Whole Foods brand name, and it's not organic. It's 365. You're like, oh, it's Whole Foods. It's got to be good, right? Well, you
Right.
go to Winn-Dixie and get it for $2 or $1.50, and it's the same fucking lettuce.
Same thing.
It's wild.
Same, same thing. It's really that goes back to like the pricing and stuff.
Hmm.
It's just so
And there's no regulation to protect the consumers because of the lobbying, the lettuce
right.
lobbyists. Like there's a lobby for everything. It's
Well,
all
and
about money.
supposedly didn't it get walked back because it's
Yes.
Taylor Farms and supposedly Taylor Farms who's donated a lot of money to Trump's
Hmm.
campaigns
Hmm.
and
So the
suddenly the
CDC
FDA
had
was
to
like,
walk it back, or
yep,
some government,
FDA I think or
USDA.
something. One
Yeah,
of
it
them.
was, yeah, some
Oh
government.
no, it was a false positive.
Yeah.
And so all the people having diarrhea were what? Also false
Yeah.
positives?
Yeah. It's like, oh, it just happened to be in multiple lettuce farms across different countries. Like, no, there's no way.
Yeah.
And then recently, this morning again, I always wake up and read the news. I don't know why. It's the worst way to start my day.
I was gonna say, yeah.
There's like an E. coli outbreak in eggs now. And it
Really?
same situation because RFK walked back all of these, programs and things that we had set in place to prevent shit like this from happening. And now we're seeing more of it happen. Like,
Yeah.
yeah, it happened, before all of these stupid idiots became powerful, but not nearly as much. It
Right.
was very rare.
There
So
were better things in place
yeah,
to minimize that. Yep.
exactly. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. And we're gonna keep seeing more of it spike as it goes.
Hmm.
Good thing I don't like eggs. I'm screwed if it gets into my chocolate or
Oh, but eggs are so well, you're safe with chocolate. I don't want to jinx it, but eggs are so healthy. I eat eggs all the time.
they are
Um,
healthy. It's very rare. I could eat it like in a breakfast sandwich, but I
yeah.
think I've been traumatized as a child. I
Ah.
bit into shell,
Oh.
and anytime I think about it, I want to kind of like gag.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
So
Yeah. I
anytime I'm
get
eating
that.
it, I'm almost like,
Hmm. Hmm.
and then it just smells bad.
Yeah.
Uh, Yeah.
Well, it's because I'm sort of a vegetarian. And when I say sort of, I'm a flexitarian, right? So I don't eat that much meat, but like, I'm not like, a stickler. So like,
Right.
I have to eat eggs because like, otherwise all of my level, like my B12 gets all messed up and my B6 and I don't know. Then I start getting like mouth sores and my
I
doctor's like, you're
wish,
malnourished.
yeah, you need to eat. I wish that I did eat eggs because, like,
Hmm.
if you want to lose weight, number one thing on your diet is eggs. And I'm like, well, I'm fucked.
Hmm. Hmm.
Eggs and tuna
Hey,
and fish.
yeah.
And I'm
Well,
like,
I
I
was
don't
gonna
like
say
any of that.
salmon. Do you like salmon?
No,
Ah, that sucks.
no.
That's hard.
Like,
Yeah.
if it's healthy, usually like really healthy, I'm like, no, I'm good.
And I'm like, how about avocado?
Avocados, I do like. I will
Okay.
eat the fuck out of an avocado.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Avocados they're like a superfood. If you eat like an avocado a day, your LDL, which is the good cholesterol, will go up.
Yeah.
And then that'll cause your LDL, which is the bad cholesterol, to go down. So
Yeah.
just eat avocados and chicken.
Yeah, chicken I don't mind. And then
Yeah.
I like salads. I love, not right
And
now.
that's what chicken, yeah. Well, hey, just as long as it's not Taylor Farms, like I think we're good. And even then I think they've corrected. So I think we're
Yeah.
safe. I think we can go back to lettuce if we want. Like we're having chicken Caesar salad tonight for dinner. So we'll
Okay.
see.
Good
Yeah.
luck.
All right.
I'm on a high horse. I had Subway the other day and I put lettuce on it too. I was
Oh,
like,
okay. Yeah. Oh, I
go
wouldn't
up.
trust Subway. I
I
trust
know.
Taco Bell. Listen, because of the cyclospora outbreak, I have a lot more faith in Taco Bell now because they were the first to come forward with it. They were the first to come up with a solution. And listen, where else can you get a taco at 3 a.m.? Like
No.
nowhere.
And how did people realize they were actually getting sick? Because usually don't you get diarrhea when you eat Taco Bell?
Right. That's true. It must have been
That's
it
like a
was really
thing, right?
explosive. There was the line. It was like, this isn't typical Taco Bell
Right.
diarrhea.
This isn't normal Taco Bell diarrhea. This is different.
Yeah. Oh man. All right. Let's end on that happy
Yes.
note. Thanks for listening. Don't ban books.
Ban bigots. This episode has been engineered and mixed by your hosts, Jennifer and Courtney.
You can listen to the Milford Books podcast on iHeartRadio, Apple, Spotify, or literally any podcast app you want.
Check out our Milford Books YouTube page. That's MILF, the number 4, books. And don't forget to like and subscribe.
Follow the show on Instagram, Threads, Facebook, and Blue Sky at MILF for Books. Again, that's MILF, the number 4, books. But follow us on TikTok at Moms Into Literary Freedom.